forward, that's
No,
the
we're-
issue.
Oh.
This is the latter status
This is
of
the,
the,
All right, sorry.
we're at the end here.
Okay, sorry.
this is the public comment period, so Michelle, you have every opportunity to speak during this period of time.
Is there a time limit on the public comment period? And may we present projected material?
Well, let me say something here, first of all. And Mr. Fransconi and Ms. Young, please pay close attention to what I'm about to say. I read your email that you sent about a month ago.
Right.
And that email basically, I only saw two questions in that email. One is, we already addressed it in a previous meeting. It was the issue on the referendum. We voted, we passed it on to the DA. I'm not sure he found much, or anything. Your second question was, you have some new information. And that new information, you're more than welcome to forward that to the DA since that was already addressed, since the referendum was already addressed. So you don't need to come to this board to forward any additional information that you may have to the district attorney. And number three, right before a general election, I'm not going to allow this board to be manipulated into politicizing an issue that's designed to beat up on a candidate before he's up for re-election. So, again, I want to reiterate, if you have any additional information, please feel free to forward it to the district attorney. You don't need this board to do that.
Well, I'd like to make a public comment then.
Well, if I may, furthermore, this board and my years of experience, as well as the Board of Commissioners, has never allowed for a presentation to be made. I cannot recall, unless somebody wants to correct me on that, we've not allowed for that type of
You heard one on May 24th.
we've heard argument on May 24th,
Right.
not a presentation.
Well, then we can
I'm
call this
willing
an
to
argument.
We can call it an argument if you like.
Or we've heard a discussion, let's make more better phrase than an argument. So a presentation in itself is, you're talking PowerPoint or something of that nature. To my knowledge, this board has never allowed for that, nor has the Board of Commissioners.
In addition, if you're here today to only provide additional allegations to an ongoing investigation, potentially, then I suggest that this presentation be more appropriately be provided to the district attorney and his detective.
Well, okay, I would like to make my
Because that's where
public
it's going to go
comment.
anyway.
I'd like to be afforded my public comment then.
Absolutely.
As you know, the attorney, District Attorney Jack Hennings, provided you a letter where he said that it is not his objection that you investigate these circumstances. You read it into the record at the last meeting. Furthermore, PS 25 PS 2642 says the County Board of Elections, this is the election code, this is the law that you're sworn to uphold and to abide by. The county boards of elections within their respective counties shall exercise, in the manner provided by this act, all powers granted to them by this act, and shall perform. There's no may or might or may be there. All duties imposed upon them by this act, which shall include the following. It gives an alliteration of the duties. One of them is I, to investigate election frauds, irregularities, and violations of this act, the election code, and to report all suspicious circumstances to the district attorney. Those circumstances which were outlined by Mr. Kavanaugh on May 24th are not the same as our circumstances, so they differ. Also, I would remind you that you promised to review, and we never received communication from either you or Commissioner Zapatowski regarding the review that you did on that. We made numerous email communications to you seeking to be placed on the agenda. Furthermore, when Representative Tim Mahoney was asking to be placed on the agenda, he submitted this letter. We submitted a much more detailed report and we were ignored. He was given time. He was allotted time to have his say. You weren't calling it political then.
And both of those
And
matters-
Mr. Butler,
if I
please,
may,
please,
if I may, let me interject, please. Both Mr. Mahoney's statement that day as well as Mr. Kavanaugh's statement that day was made, the referral was made to the district attorney for further investigation. Not by this board, but by the district attorney.
Right, and he forwarded you a letter that he has no objection to you using your jurisdictional purview as outlined in the statute that I just read to you to perform your duty to investigate that. And you are not interested in investigating these election irregularities, and that's the fact.
At this point in time, I believe the district attorney has the ability, has all the information that you have provided, that Mr. Kavanaugh has provided, and that Mr. Mahoney has provided. And at this point, the district attorney will have the discretion of whether or not he wants to pursue any additional investigatory process regarding any of the three matters. All three matters were referred, the two matters of that day were referred to the DA.
I understand. There were three matters referred in three motions, actually, not two.
Yeah, I stand corrected.
And on May 24th, Mr. Butler, as you noted in your commentary, Commissioner Zapotowski, his allegations were already forwarded to District Attorney Hennings. His allegations were already investigated by the state police. You said that in the official record. I have the tape. So to say that he had it and you allow him to basically bring these irregularities that he was saying before you and to treat citizens differently is, I think, a travesty and I think an outrage.
I've reviewed your complaint in detail, and I've reviewed it, and I'm trying to determine where, in fact, everything that I've read here, i.e. video footage of Representative Mahoney entering the courthouse waving, time stamping, even in Judge Warman's decision on page 7, and I will read Judge Warman's on page 7. Initially, Mahoney attempted to file the referendum petitions at the Election Bureau without an affidavit being attached. After being informed by the director, Larry Blosser, that the required affidavits be attached to all petitions, Mahoney left with the referendum petitions and a copy of the affidavit for the nominating petitions. Mahoney returned to the Election Bureau with the referendum petitions. Thus, he had gone to the courthouse to have those notarized after he was informed by the office to do so. Correct? Am I correct, Mr. Blosser? Yes. So I mean, these are all items that were, Mr. Mahoney was advised to do this in accordance to instructions given by this office.
May
interject 1 second?
That's where the timestamp difference, I think, comes into play.
No, we have evidence that suggests differently, and if we were allowed to present it, you would see that. And in fact, if this office told Representative Tim Mahoney to go out and rob a bank, and he did so, he would be subject to the legal penalties for robbing a bank.
I'm going to interject. Belinda, go ahead, say what you have to say, and then let me speak. Go ahead.
Okay, yes. Well, first of all, let me correct that on May 24th, you said that then the DA had all of the materials for all of the cases, including what we had. That is not the case. The DA has never contacted us. We have never provided the District Attorney of Fayette County with any of the materials that we have.
I since have provided the District Attorney with the copy of the document that you have provided.
Well, that's good. However, we do have additional material that we are going to go over, and this goes to the heart of your comment that that Representative Mahoney did return with the affidavits of circulator to be filed with the petitions. Yes, he did, and Judge Warman reflects that that occurred. However, in the civil courtroom, nothing was presented that went to the chronology, the time frame of the return of the petitions and of the return of the affidavits. And what we are going to impart, if given the opportunity, is that